grateful I am to all of our family and friends and administrators and to the school here. I finally have no microphone, but I will gladly keep you all here till 2. Is that right? What time do you got to go back to class, right? All right. There's a part of the Bible called Proverbs 18:16, and I don't always read the Bible, but I did read this, and it was very striking to me. It said, "A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men." And for some reason I wanted to share that with you today because that means a lot to me. This proverb is very dear to me because now my gifts have brought me here to this stage, and I'm proud to be sharing it today with these two great men as well. I love and respect them more than anything. I would have to say that it's a distinct honor to fulfill this role as best man in both of their weddings and as godfather to both of their firstborn children. And they both in turn did the same thing for me. So it's kind of a unique relationship as you see here today. I've learned that the greatest rewards in life I've found are the love that you share with one another and the relationships that you can build and nurture throughout your life. And I mean that truly. The relationships that you build today are going to be meaningful for you. I don't know how far or long they go, but as you can see, 23 years ago, we were standing here graduating, and here we are today. They say it takes a village to raise a man, and that sure couldn't have been more accurate when it came to my childhood. Raising me required a lot of patience, I'm sure. My mother will testify. From my parents, my brother, my friends' parents, my teachers and administrators, as they all had to put in extra time, I'm sure, for me. While attending school here, I can remember my very first day of the 4th grade when Mrs. Orsi and Mrs. Roach actually welcomed me to the school. They cared for me as if I was one of their own children, and they taught me to wear my heart on my sleeve and to always be optimistic and open to new adventures. Since then, my spirit has remained fearlessly adventurous. I've always had that attitude. From my teachers, I learned to speak with kindness and to have patience when teaching and when mentoring and coaching others. Today, I train my staff and my employees with encouragement and leadership. And I would say that came from some of my upbringing here at Lewiston Porter. From the administrators here at Newport, I learned to trust people without judgment and to openly grant responsibility. That was a hard lesson for me to learn as an adult. They once saw something in me that even I didn't see. And I remember getting an opportunity to do certain things in high school and say, "Why did you pick me?" But sure enough, they saw something I didn't. From that, I developed a keen sense for the veracity and fidelity in others. I have learned even more life lessons while playing on the soccer field here at Lewiston Porter from my coaches and from my teammates, which some of you know here. Mr. Joe Conti was one of those players, believe it or not. So, for example, we learned, always be where the ball is going and don't stand still. I think Joey used to yell that at me all the time. Don't stand still. Much of my success today has come from my ability to read the terrain, to make fast decisions, and to always remain faster than my opponents. From Peter, I witnessed great leadership. He taught me to grow through any obstacle and adversity. I learned the importance of inclusion, and he has shown me that strength can come from diversity. From Adam, I learned to read the winds, to always watch for the puffs, and to always keep my sails full. I wasn't a big sailor, but it kept me on the right track. I believe that we're all born with an ancestral knowledge, a God-given talent and gift. And I encourage you all to spend these years here at Lewiston Porter finding your unique gifts. One day you will need them to serve your community. See, sometimes I think people choose their path in life and they were destined to follow it. But other times we need to accept that failure is just a divine push into the right direction. The losses that we've had in our lives is God's way of pushing you into a direction that you need to be following. So find out what makes you special and develop those strengths. Today has truly been my honor and privilege to be here. I would like to thank the Alumni Association and Miss Orsi and Norma, she's not here today, for selecting me for this. I want to remind you that there's no amount of money that has ever bought a second of time, and time is truly a sacred trust. So guard yours well. Thank you very much.